Good morning, everyone. My name is Laprit Singh, and I'm a Master IELTS trainer at gandhisir.com. And today we are going to discuss a very important topic which we all should know if we are appearing for IELTS exam. That is, what is the criteria for the checking of IELTS speaking, and on what basis they give us marks. So let's get started with our video, and I will tell you in detail each and everything that they check during our speaking interview. So basically, there are four things on basis of what our IELTS speaking is evaluated. So first one is the fluency and the coherence. What do you mean by fluency? Fluency means that how fluent you are in English and how well you can speak without any pauses, without any hesitation. And coherence means how well you can connect one idea to another. So that is counted in the coherence. And this whole fluency and coherence part accounts for 25% of your whole speaking. That is, it carries 25% marks of the whole speaking. So, what you can do to improve your fluency? First of all, you have to avoid pauses and hesitation. And if you are hesitating too much in your IELTS interview, it will definitely going to affect your marks. So first of all, we have to avoid pauses, and second of all, we have to overcome our fear and we don't have to hesitate during our interview. So this is the first thing which you have to do whenever you are appearing for IELTS interview. Second is, do not repeat your words or do not repeat the same sentences during your interview. So now we will talk about that what you can do to improve that. First of all, you can organize your ideas and your thoughts in a very logical way. मेरे कहने का मतलब है जो भी आपके आंसर्स हैं या जो भी आप बोलना चाहते हो उसे एक बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से आप ऑर्गेनाइज कीजिए और फिर उसे प्रेजेंट कीजिए. Then you will definitely get good marks. For example, if the examiner asks you that how much it rains in India, so one way to answer this question is it it rains very much in India in the rainy season. So this is the first example. What is the second way to do this? It generally rains a lot in India. So you can see I have used generally. So you can use these kind of words, and I have used very much ki jagah pe I have used a lot. So this is how you can organize your idea and present them in a better way. You can use the words generally, well, I believe, usually. So these are the words which you can use, and it will look very impressive if you use these kind of words during your interview. So we are done with our first part, that is fluency and coherence, which accounts for 25% of the total marks. So let's move to our second parameter on basis of which they are going to evaluate you in your speaking test. So first one is your range of vocabulary, that how well you can use a word in a sentence. Second one is the collocation. And the third one is using less common vocabulary, which means the words which are overused, we have to avoid those kind of words. So first one is your range of vocabulary. और इसमें क्या आता है, इसमें ये आता है vocabulary doesn't mean any polished word or any fancy word. It means that how well you can use the word in the sentence. It shouldn't be that much common word, but it shouldn't have to be any fancy word also. वोकेबलरी का ये मतलब नहीं है कि आपने बहुत ही ज़्यादा लंबे लंबे और मुश्किल वर्ड्स यूज़ करने हैं. वोकेबलरी का मतलब है आप कितने अच्छे तरीके से कोई वर्ड एक सेंटेंस में यूज़ कर सकते हो, वो आपका लेक्सिकल रिसोर्सेज के अंदर काउंट होगा. हाँ, बट आपको माइंड में एक और चीज़ रखनी है, दैट यू डोंट हैव टू यूज़ ओवर यूज वर्ड्स. जो बहुत ही ज़्यादा कॉमन वोकेबलरी में हम यूज़ करते हैं, आप उन्हें अवॉइड कीजिए, उनकी जगह कोई ऐसे वर्ड्स यूज़ करिए जो हम कॉमनली यूज़ नहीं करते. सो दिस इज़ अ वेरी गुड टिप विच you can keep in your mind while appearing for the interview कि आपको ऐसे ऐसे वर्ड्स यूज़ करने हैं जो ना कि ज़्यादा फैंसी हो बल्कि ऐसे हों जो बहुत ही ज़्यादा कॉमनली यूज़ होते हैं, वो ना हो नॉर्मल वर्ड्स. So our second thing in this lexical resources is collocations. So what do you mean by collocations? It means the words that usually come together or usually used together. So these words are known as collocations. For example, what we can use with the word deep. So with deep you can use deep feelings, deep sleep, deep trouble. So these are the collocations, that how well you can know. And the second word is heavy. Heavy losses, heavy rain. So these are the words which you can use with heavy. So these are just the examples which I'm giving you. So why we use collocations? Actually, they make your English looks very natural, actually similar to the way natives speak it. So you will look more natural in your English if you use the collocations in your IELTS interview, and that will definitely going to boost your marks. So let's move to our third criteria. So let's have a look at an example of collocation. For example, if the examiner asks you that what's the weather like in your country in the rainy days, so there are two ways to answer it. So the first one is you can say that yes, it rains and sometimes it is very cold. So this is the first way to answer it. And how you can answer it better? So here is the second way. Well, it usually rains a lot, and on some days it is bitterly cold. So here, bitterly cold is a collocation. So you can use collocation in these manner and you can boost your marks. Let's move to our third parameter. So our third parameter is grammatical range and accuracy. What do you mean by this? By grammatical range, we mean that how well you can use different type of grammatical structures in your speaking, and by accuracy means that how frequently you make the mistakes. And there are ways to improve your band score in these parameters. So first one is whenever you are appearing for any interview, use three type of tenses in your speaking, that is past tense, present tense and future tense with appropriate grammatical structures. Your structures should be correct, only then it is going to be look impressive. Our second one, the second thing which we could do in this parameter is we can use the would sentences. For example, I would really like to taste that cuisine, or I would really like to try that cuisine. So these type of sentences are there which you can use in your speaking part. Third one is the speculations. You can use the speculation sentences. For example, my country's economy might improve in the future. So here you can see that we are using speculations. You can also consider putting these kind of sentences in your IELTS speaking, and it will definitely help you. So let's move to the accuracy, that what kind of mistakes are allowed and how frequently you can make the mistakes. So first of all, we will try not to make any mistake, especially any grammatical error in our IELTS speaking, as we are going to judge on basis of that. But anyhow, it is completely fine to make the mistakes, as we all are humans and we all make mistakes. So it is totally fine. But what kind of mistakes are fine? Only those mistakes are fine by which your communication is not blocked. If these mistakes are blocking your communication, then definitely they are going to put adverse effects on your IELTS speaking scores. But if you are conveying your message properly, your conversation is fine, and then only you have few mistakes, then it is fine, you can commit that kind of mistakes. But we will try, the first priority is that we will try that we should not make any mistake during our whole test. So the last and the fourth parameter which we are going to discuss now is the pronunciation. Most of us even don't pay attention to this. It is the very important. First of all, if you are speaking English, then it should look like English. Your first language touch will never be included in your IELTS speaking. For example, मैं क्या कहना चाहता हूँ कि अगर आप पंजाब से हैं, बिहार से हैं या किसी और स्टेट से हैं, तो जो आपकी मदर टंग है, आपकी फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज है, उसका टच इंग्लिश में नहीं आना चाहिए. It doesn't mean that you have to change your accent. Again, I will say that it doesn't mean that you have to change your accent, but You should be able to pronounce each sound correctly. आप एक एक वर्ड का जो साउंड है उसे करेक्टली प्रोनाउंस कर सके. दिस इज प्रोनाउंसिएशन, नॉट चेंजिंग योर एक्सेंट. And your first language touch should never come in your IELTS speaking. I have seen students making very common mistakes. For example, saying father instead of father. So actually it is father. Father, mother. It's not father, mother. So this is a very common mistake which I have seen a lot of students committing nowadays. You should avoid saying father. Second is the ed words. For example, cooked. I have seen students saying cooked. So there is a Punjabi touch whenever you are saying cooked. So it shouldn't be like that. Booked. It should be booked, not booked. So you have to pay attention to these kind of words, and I personally suggest that if you are having any problem with your pronunciation, search that word in your browser and go to the pronunciation provided by the Google. It will definitely going to help you, or you can ask your teacher or your friends for the correct pronunciation. But you should pay attention to this fourth and the last parameter of IELTS speaking, as it also covers 25%. That means all your four parameters cover equal marks and are equally important. So I hope that the points which I have told you, you will keep it in mind and you will definitely work on your weak parts. So now you have four criteria and you can judge yourself in which criteria you lack, and you can focus on that criteria more as compared to the other parts. So I hope that this video will definitely help you, and thank you.